We live in a world that constantly tells us to be happy. Every ad, every influencer, every self-help video seems to be selling the same promise, that if you just do this one thing, buy this one product, or fix this one part of yourself, you'll finally be happy. It's become the unofficial goal of life, happiness as the measure of success. But is it really the most important thing? This question isn't new. Philosophers, psychologists, and everyday people have been wrestling with it forever. And slowly, a different answer has started to emerge, that while happiness feels good, it might not be enough. That meaning, the sense that your life matters, has purpose, has depth, might actually be what we're really looking for. At first glance, happiness and meaning seem similar. They both make life feel worthwhile, but their roots are completely different. Happiness is emotional. It's a feeling, a state. You know when you're happy, you feel energized, light, content. It often comes from external things. A good conversation, a funny movie, an achievement, or even a sunny day. It's not a bad thing. In fact, it's essential. But it's fleeting. Meaning, on the other hand, doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it's hard, but it anchors you. It gives you the sense that your life fits into a bigger picture. But even if things are painful or uncertain, they matter. Think of it like this. Happiness is the firework. Meaning is the foundation. One is bright, exciting, short-lived. The other is slow, invisible, but it holds everything up. A lot of people find happiness in chasing short-term goals, getting good grades, making money, traveling, being popular. These things do bring joy, and there's nothing wrong with them. But what happens when those moments pass? What happens when the high wears off? That's when people start to feel the absence of meaning. And ironically, some of the things that make life meaningful aren't happy at all in the moment. Waking up at 3 a.m. to care for your child. Putting in long hours on a project that might not work. Helping a friend through grief. These are not happy tasks, but they matter. They're rooted in care, in connection, in love, in values. Happiness is often self-focused about how we feel. Meaning usually comes from looking outward, toward others, toward causes, toward something beyond just ourselves. It's why people can go through something incredibly hard, a breakup, illness, or even grief, and still say, it was one of the most meaningful experiences of my life. Meaning doesn't need to feel good to be good. One of the biggest traps we fall into is confusing comfort for meaning. We assume that if something feels good, it must be right. But a lot of comfort is actually numbing, scrolling endlessly, binge watching for hours, buying things we don't need. These things might bring happiness for a few seconds, but they rarely leave us with anything lasting. They pass, and often they leave behind emptiness. Compare that to something deeply meaningful, building relationships, working toward a goal that's bigger than you, learning something new, growing. These things aren't always easy, but they build who you are. They change you, and they create a story that feels worth telling. You might be surprised to learn that research backs this up. Studies show that people who chase meaning, even if they are not always happy, tend to be more resilient, more satisfied with their lives in the long run, and less shaken by setbacks. They've built an inner compass, a structure that holds them together, even when things fall apart. And this makes sense. Because if you only chase happiness, your life becomes about avoiding pain. But if you chase meaning, you start to see pain differently. You can face it. You can grow from it. And that makes you stronger. So how do we actually live a life that's meaningful? It's not about grand gestures. You don't have to become a monk or write a best-selling book. Meaning lives in small things, in being present, in caring deeply, in sticking with something even when it's boring or hard. It lives in choosing what matters to you, in doing it over and over, even when it's not glamorous. Sometimes meaning is just being there for someone when they need you. Sometimes it's working quietly on something that might not pay off for years. Sometimes it's holding on to your values when it would be easier to let go. And here's the twist. When you start to live for meaning, happiness often sneaks in, too. Not the loud, Instagram-worthy kind, but a deeper kind that stays, that whispers, "This is right." It's a calm sort of joy, a steady one. There's a quote by Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychologist, that sums it up perfectly. Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. Meaning gives us our why. Without it, even the happiest life starts to feel hollow. So maybe the real goal isn't happiness. Maybe it's alignment, integrity, connection. Maybe it's showing up for a life that actually reflects what you care about. Okay? Life that makes you proud, not just comfortable. 'Cause when we look back, when we're older, when we're reflecting, we rarely remember the fleeting pleasures. We remember the effort, the love, the risk, the growth. We remember the meaning. So yes, smile when you can. Laugh, enjoy things, but also pay attention to what matters. It's what you're building, what you're learning, who you're becoming. It's where the real story is. That's where the good life is hiding. It's not in the endless chase for happiness, but in the quiet, steady pursuit of meaning.